Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates.
Ate songa ate abaana bangi aba NUP abavundira mu makomera olwokubanga baya families ebyamaji.
I tell you, much as I hate this cowboy, I hate him. More than I hate himself. They connived against me and killed my political career. Even God cannot reconcile with them. Ako bakwata billion 10 ne baziteka mu motoka nga bagiguze bazirete wange ne kapanga banzite ekiro nenzibalekera. Omusajja omu nagende wa president namugamba nti omwana oyo atukolera nnyo tumuwe billion 10 tuyite ne family namugamba Antono tumuwaga tumuwe billion meka
abiri
bwe yazireta namugamba nti wayi ziteeka why do you want to bribe him njazimwewera zagenda mu kalulu myayina Museveni kakati akasajja sikaagala.
Yes,
but I can understand the situation. Nabagambye tuyina kyetuyita embedment. When the journalists are going to cover a war, they put on their country's military uniforms. Kubanga tugeze mugenda mu operation camouflage uyino kwambala ngaki mulutala yamba shati enjeru aba UN peacekeeper. They put on white to be seen. But if you are going to be in the military, they would even all the journalists who want to cover the war. Bali badde baba training ni muchaka.
Afune skill, afune art of war.
Yeah, art of war. Kakati in that you can put on a military uniform after being cleared by the military. Kubanga the uniform belongs to
the military.
We would ask, we have seen an ordinary person in a bar in a military uniform. But if I see this cowboy boarding an helicopter to the war zone, then I can obongo bwangata bujja put on a military fatigue because he was going to war. Do you get that the president right to the Chankwanzi principle to allow these people to put on military
attires?
No. Do they come with them at home? No. What does it mean? Quick identification at Chankwanzi. Is their uniform? Many people who want to intimidate people to appear in uniform, even you go. Do you know that many people went to Muchaka courses to run guns? So therefore, I look at it in a different way. But I not to explain.
Most of them are going to mawulire. Ngamufura abantu abayine obulimi ku mitima gya wana bali makomera.
Kyenkubulia kiri kimu nti olumu mu misquoting deliberately.
What did we misquote? What did we misquote Mzee Tamale?
Military kakati tugeze Moi yali civilian in Kenya. But because Moi was commander in the chief of the Kenyan Armed Forces, Kenya eriyo ekyambalo ky'amagye kya commander in the chief kya Field Marshal yekyambala ba president ba Kenya basinga obungi bayiri baki
ekyo kitegerekeka president
yizone uhuru anti kugambye uniforms tugeze president ng'agenza okulambula factory y'eddagala tebamwambaza gawuni zayo
bamwambaza
but you surrender them immediately
ng'ogenda okufuluma.
Why? Cleanliness naki. So bano bo balema kunnyonnyola kyolete muyina anga yammwe.
Obuzibu buli balimi okunnyonnyola.
This one has been cleared by the military. The people what this man is talking about, Bobby Wine, logically is killing his case. Bobby Wine is saying it is true that you caught some of my boys burning military fatigue.
Bobby akakasiza.
Kambye logic yakuba mmwe.
Bobby anafanya wakana wa. Akakasiza bana bakwa nabakati yansonga ntufu.
Yes, kakati ojajja kugamba nti yes, but the two are different. This one has been done what? Cleared. Mulimu abaana abamu baana babasomesa batambula ne ba parents baabwe kati abaana babasomesa abo osanga omwana nga yali mulenzi nga yasomera mu ssomero ly'abawala. Don't be surprised ng'omwana mulenzi
yasomera mu ssomero ly'abawala
yasomera mu girls school
namuwulirako
ayira lukyamaze yasomera mu Girls
namuwulirako nange I want to mention naye namuwulirako
why yatambulanga ne bakadde mama yali musomesa wa kitaawe kakati goyinza okuga nti ono rapist kuba tumukwatidde mu ssomero ly'abawala yes oyinza okuga nti ono homosexual has been cleared. The issue is being cleared by the military, the owners of this uniform. Kati Bobi Wine implicates these people.
Ye munyina mazo okwekuba.
Ye Bobi Wine ye implicates abantu. Abaana abange be bakwatira mu uniform nga bazambala bo babasiba. You have one confirmed nti baba
kwatanga bambadde ki?
Two, they were not cleared by the military. This one has also been cleared by so tuki chenkugame tukisa decision making, situation evaluation.
Okay.
How does this differ from this one?
Yes.
When I tell Muyingo to resign, I quote nti mwe mwenyini mu mawulire gamu
temunakijjamu family bill zayise
yapulumiza bilioni meka 5
yamba ku masomero.
You show us the breakdown
zalazeewa
attacking you not from air I'm attributing, so how can you arrest me?
Kubanga olawo kijja
nabano we nabakwatira you have said the voices are not yours, so you have given me permission to continue playing them. If you said those are my voices and I'm going to charge him with encroaching on my privacy, you've come and said the voices are not yours, they are fake.
Something interesting from here. Waliwo omukulu agambye namanya Moses from Mbarara agambisa Tamale Mirundi ku price y'amata. People from Western Baga mata n'ennyama. We are very tired. Bonga abantu mu Western region baga bakoye monopoly ya Rwabogo. Okuba nti yasalawo amata n'ennyama bigula sente meka babikoye.
Ne bagamba baagala twaye berembalala. Kakati onawangula atya kalulu. Nga tebakwagala. Era ne banakuyisa mu kamole. People will pound the street.
Kituufu.
Ate tusobola n'okukola referendum nti bano abali mu parliament batuliddemu olukwe bayiike enkana bizitabwe zonna zisejjembe
tuzikasuka
ebweru balidde sente nabagamba. You see, for me, I'm a mass communicator. I told them that this organic case has solved the succession battle in Uganda very early.
Organic case can jikiririza kubanga be ending na HCC.
Buli muntu enali indicted for extracting organs from Ugandans cannot play any role in the future.
In the future.
Tudire oba president tububawe abatemu
tekisoboka
oba mubadde mbikola linga temuli mu power
olumunaafuna obuyinza
disqualified mwalidde embizi kakati bwe kibayina okukola problemu yaabwe who can protect their wealth. Two, they are going to become fugitives in Uganda. Niye ekyamwebaza omuteekako $5 million kati ne fugitiveness mu Uganda kubanga bw'osoma international law osoma international nation bakugamba domestic law prevails over foreign law. Why? Interpol bwemugigaana okuja bano balina kubeera hunted down like the Nazis. Why didn't you think about this? Why shouldn't a nun think before having sex that once I fall pregnant I will be if we want to be a leader of a country nebugenda munonyayo sente mumubya amata mumubya ennyama mumubya ennuni mumuyina mporokola buli kintu kyonna muyina emitindi gya sente nabaloga that you operated under the influence of witchcraft.
Tamale oli mulogo.
Shiriki oye, shiriki oye, shiriki oye, shiriki juu. Shiriki juu.
Oli mulogo.
Explain. Tumwebaze came when he was a pauper. I saw tumwebaze with disjointed shoes. Nga deputy like this. You have acquired all of these wealth. Then what forces you, unless you are bewitched, what forces you to sell the human organism? Era nembalemesa wonna akali batembi eryo dogo temuzanyisanga dogo likola especially when you are innocent. Emyaka 8 gyonna nanyini buyinza alowooza I'm playing games with Mirundi. You don't know, he'll come and kneel before me. He told the Dr. Byaruhanga, no, let us hide the money. Maybe Aruhanga will patrol the same one. Let us hide the money so that he comes in kneeling. A man will kneel. How much money that my family cannot achieve for me? How much money do you believe I don't have a loan in the bank.
It's not about money, it's about integrity.
Integrity, siyinza okumuliwo. Nze ne bwe nalibadde mukazi, if I was a woman, omusajja nandeepinga, munyigo mukonda n'engumenya. Onzita naye toddamu kuleepinga balala. I will pick these people that money, privilege, influence and wealth cannot defeat me.
Mzee Tamale, nga kukyali gutya omukulu omwogezi wa poliisi Enanga yavudde n'agamba nti anaawonga bana Uganda essaawa twandikugwako twandifuna terror attacks ng'ezaliwo olw'emabega era tubeere vigilant.
I pity the Ugandan police.
Why?
I pity Enanga sinza musomesa. Yes, manyi mugezi, but he is a pretender.
Mfajja mugezi?
Yes, Enanga mugezi. Era namugamba tiawandike ekitabo Inside My Mind. Kuba to cover lies is not easy. Enanga is an intelligent man.
He's covering lies?
Yes. Kakati kankubuuza. Any security organ will know. Many people bazimba hotels ne bars for Entebbe Road. Olwajjaamu eri mu Kampala osobola okuva mu Kampala essaawa nnya ng'ogenda kulinnya nnyonyi essaawa 6 n'obeera wali ku 6 onoobeera ku Freedom gundi Freedom City oba niyaawo apo tweri nga jjaamu y'omu Kampala
ogibuuse.
Kakati today these who invested in this on the Entebbe Road invested them a lot of money. They know that if traffic shifts to the highway,
to the other highway,
they have no business. Like any other African, balina kuparalyzinga luguudo lulinga balutirako abantu badduke. Enanga. That I understand.
But between Cuba
from intelligence tubuuza who benefits from this?
Okay.
You paralyze it. Bajja tulemesa abantu bakyayo babakubirayo simanyi gundi
bukiri.
Yes, there is no police patrol, tekuliko ki tebayinza kukkiriza ate bakola ensobi tekuliko bizimbe bizimbiddwako mpozi banagula existing wanuzi kakati the only person ayinayo ebizimbe ebyamaanyi is Ham.
Ate nabyo bya business bya
gundi factory apartments. Kakati olwo oluguudo tebaluteekako business balowooza ebya Uganda tebikola kakati bya realizing mugende mu bibuga byonna weni Masaka bakola oluguudo oluyita ku Toto neluyunga ku Mbalala. Masaka was affected.
Yes.
Motoka tunuulira it is a change of drivers. Bw'obaawo driver ayimirira embizinya ab'embizinya bakola nga ayinawo omukazi kubanga ayinawo business kati omukazi ashifutinga n'agenda mu Lwera erukaya bus teziyimirirawo. You ask these bus operators and those market vendors either one of the bus man bamuwa ebyobwereere oba ayinawo
omuntu
oba ayinawo interest but once the road shifts ne drivatinga ekibuga ne luyita emabega waakyo ewaffe Kaliisizo the city was concentrated nga oluguudo lwekyo tuli awo. When this road was constructed Kaliisizo shifted for a long time nadda ku eno kukola sempya because the same people we invested there cannot even easily transfer their buildings to another main road now. Any security person would know who is financing, who wants to paralyze. And when you leave the businessmen apart, another group that is going to be affected, the petrol stations.
Petrol stations, yes.
A highway, you must move with a full tank.
True.
There is no petrol station on this highway.
Teriko.
Over Eriwa Mamerito, Paka Antebe. A petrol station is on they are aware that once this is shifted, you have also to shift.
Shifting another day.
Enanga group is emerge. A group of emerge. Mumuri no bwabayekera muleme kukoza commission nga kigambo buyekera. Obuyekera means something big. An attack.
Okumanya obuyekera webuli.
Rebels attack. An attack means attacking from different directions.
Okumanya obuyekera webuli. Bakwate 15 ne bagenza before court martial. Ewo omukulu.
Anti bwe kudde ebintu
abantu 15 balamba
bakugamba tibwoba toyina byakulya odira mwenyoko n'omuyita omugenyi tuyinayo omugenyi eyo kubanga omukaali ankoko nze kamba buulire nze nebinzesa omuvubuka yazze mwiba bagamba timba mu TV kati nga neka jindi bunirayo jini eri mfanana
yazaka kase
mba ntudde ewange ewaka ku Sande omuvuka n'abuuka ekikomera n'akigwamu n'atandika okuŋŋaanya engo
nga
tamanyi nti wendi nomujimba nanemuba mutti sajja naŋŋandi oli mugenyi wa nti iwange sebo nfukamidde mbadde simanyi nti wawo naye enjala yetutta mbadde njagala kubba bugweyi mwana wa myaka nga 18 ng'abaana bange kiki nti muzeeyi
enjala ennuma
mpalambye ekikomera nga manyi tewali muntu nzize kubba ngoye nange endondeko namwadde emitwalo
2
nemukagenda
alhamdulillah
ekyengera
awono mzee Tamale obula socha mulije bayitamu
explaining ojimanyi nti these people are looking for what to eat
bwekiri
Uganda teyina charitable organizations
ninga ani atutusizaawo
anti nkubuulira
no ani atutusiza ku mbeera okubanja abantu bayala but first ani atutusizaawo
listen nabagamba nti mulumbye emirimu gy'obusiraamu mwe muvudde abaana okugenda mbuyeekera kakati kutoda bwe bagijjaawo njawulo kino ekibiina kye bataddewo kirimu amataawo nabali baali bayina and city council yasooka kusoloza ssente ezo ne tutendalinga baitendalinga egote mu America katika na agabika city council kaagala okuteekayo abaamatawo mubakyaginga emmotoka mujja kudduka
bagaidi bagobeddwa nate balabiddwako jjonga mu kibuga mwe bali bakola
bolidde Museveni yagamba bamulimba nti utoda esoloza ssente overcharging nembaga nzo omulimu ngumanyi a driver is entitled to one day lwa Sunday mutumuwa kondakita tetumumanyi obo jesoloza kondakita is not known to us bagabana nani kakati kugamba ti emmotoka ya taxi bwogitunda kati uncertainty emmotoka ya taxi tulina obuzibu tikamunyenkadde tezikyajja zino gundi drone ziri ku million 8 kakati the issue is I invest million 8 mu mmotoka in uncertainty mu kibuga kimugenda
okugobamu
kuba tebalina formula kakati omusajja ono guide yani guide ye dereva temporary atayina motoka tayinza kwebaka wuwe
alina okujja naye abiri
tuziyita munno mu kabi kakati ye president bamulimba nti ziveewo how kabusenga nakuba ne kabusenga ebikolimo byolina ne kakulu byako kulu byakubye akubye yali alumba kereza nemukuba nemuza yali $2 million bakube kereza bazijja mu America naye akubye abalokola abamaze ate we banamutegeerera ti mu Uganda mulimu omuntu alina ekkanisa ayagala okuba ekkanisa nga bonna abamazeewo olwafudde ku bujumba n'olugongo lwako kati kali ku mulindo bonna abakazi baawo mu America kagenda okuba ekkanisa kazimalewo kagenda omanyi Ssenyonga opportunity Ssenyonga yalowooza neyiyeja ate gwe ye eridata ennyo eya Ssenyonga eridata ennyo Ssenyonga yagabanga liriifu ng'alijjawa mu National Task Force tujje zimusasuza ate kati biriwa Ssenyonga ekimuwemula takyagaba kasakalola okulutu yavaayo Ssenyonga n'akola ensobi n'abatalinga pologulaamu zange ne bakalola okulutu n'ako akakazi akaherezi nemuwema negondi kaliisa naye n'abatalinga n'atwala biliyoni zange 10 ne bazigabana n'ako akavubuka ne tumwebaza bava wa Museveni mubuulidde abo abaana bava wa president abagambye kuti mwebaze wafa biliyoni kaliisa ate nze sidda mabega ndi amwe empunu bayibuli batugamba nti mukaalooni yatunula emabega nga ekibuga kisana wenaafuuka ensana ne mu siriki totunula mabega siriki tekukkiriza kutunula mabega anti byewaleseeyo jja nabyo n'abagenge tebaddayo kulaba Yesu waali omunye yaddayo oba tumusanze mu mudu n'abituddiza oba tubisanga mu kkubo
otandika butandisi
fenaffe siriki tetukkiriza kutunula mabega once you go you don't move backwards move ahead so kakati ekyo kyegamba nti bakola ebintu akatabo kange nkayita back to the same mujini nti ebintu byonna mwe mwayonoona mwalowooza Museveni agenda kati abazzayo mu same mujini you are going back to the same mujini this woman have failed to silence her kuba wendi musimami owa bunyabunyezebwa wendi
woli
nti no izo nti byencha ilise letu byencha
yes
seba nanye ni
tumwe audience tumuulirize
mzee akawala kagamba ki akawala kagamba nti olubuto lulwo mwana gwe todda mukupaize mzee tukakane akawala wakalabako tubale ennaku ate tudda mukubala ennaku tutegeera ekikolwa kyaliwo lwaki wakabamba wakalabako ne bato bannako bakabamba gwewabambaka omusango guba guweddemu
kasokera ndi wakalabako
byenkyabuuza gundi ono byenkyabuuza n'abakooba obadde mulandizi ne namuganza Museveni teyabajjamu
webali
yes omukazi ono gwe mwawa billions namuli
ali ludda wa
is he dead aliwa ettaka lye liriwa ekyapa kye kiriwa aŋŋanzi mumuyimirize kakati ataabu kankubuuli ugenda n'obatunuulira olowooza balina sente bo bateeka wano manyi bagenda ne balaba ani qualified people tulina kye tuyita the politics of overwhelming kati Emmanuel Kimini bwensoma mu mawulire Mirundi appointed minister yes I'm entitled if I want I'm educated look for votes I'm not overwhelmed
yes
no kakati ate waliwo ye akiwulira
n'akyamuka
yagenda ne wa pasta n'asaba oba musabo nakugamba waliwo wano omusajja bamuyita gundi kabiriti musajja muzibu ayina omusajja yagamba baminisita mumpe sente nabakwatira omuzimu gwa Museveni n'abawa obwa minisita nga bituufu yagukwata kakati oyinza omutwala mu kooti era shiriki tekwatibwa mu kooti kati yamukwata
tewali proof
Museveni yalipotingako nti
bakuta omuzimu
shiriki shiriki erinnya mu nnyonyi era nti bagenda ne bansanga ali ku president's office ninaye mukwano gwange Haji gundi naye baali bamusalidde amagezi Haji Kakande ekifo ekyo baali bakiramuza ne bakiranga n'abeera namba 3 ne bamufuula nemugaa nti ate gwokola gwoyinza okukola ate interview obadde acting emyezi 6 bwegigwako bagababagobe bakikuwa interview nfu baali bamuliddewo tumwebaza ayagalawo nnyo ayagala president tolikiddamu bakujimbye bakutaddeko a bit of $5 million ku bukadi bwe bazanye kakati nzegenda nnyo mu president's office ne baŋŋamba abaserikale akantu kaffe katuwe nti pisto sina pisto nina shiriki eyingira ne mu office
buli wamu eyitawo
omuntu akuwerekera ne mu nnyonyi nawe yenna shiriki emundu eyina bwekoma naye shiriki nga gwe w'amazima shiriki nga gwe mutuufu mu shiriki nga shiriki ddala gwe mutuufu shiriki ekuba shiriki tegulwa
sigenda kubanga
imaginable angles however like in the military not every soldier can undertake this assignment therefore not every player can undertake this assignment Uganda cranes in their present situation where I wrote after Chipolopolo lack the commandos. Uganda cranes lack the commandos.
Uganda cranes?
Yes.
Tetulina ba commando.
You never penetrating a defense. You don't have the special forces.
Okay.
In the soccer.
In the soccer, tetulina.
Uganda tetulina ba special forces in the soccer.
But ne chiva kuchi.
Ante baba training.
Whose role is that?
Wherever get what is the goal post. Without first controlling it, tease the defenders, and then shoot. Tebachina.
Bakubi.
Chibishi wana wala. Kiria.
Mzee Tamale, whose role is that okubanja wa training okubanja bakole ekyo?
Andi nkugambi, the coach, a good coach, must know people who can penetrate. This can only be done by a confident and determined staff, which the Koreans currently lacks. Like in the military, identifying such a special talent is not simple. It requires a combination of bravery and intelligence. This means that these commandos can make decisions very quickly, depending on the prevailing situation. A slight delay in the decision making produces fatal results. This is what a talented striker does. I know Kubana Hamagezi. Think very quickly. What do I do in such a situation? Nguzayo basiguzayo. Yes, Brazil we are sambiranga. ngekutuusa ku goolo neraba nga tejja kutema
neddayo mabega
ne planning naye nga era be baguyina. Yes, muyina coach. Those coaches
coach ani amuleeta
nkubuulire bakochi balina kuyitika maje. Omuntu yenna the thing I miss in my life, I never joined the army. That's why I lack a discipline. Alina kifuniramu sali badde radical nga bwendi. Baali mu kalulu Kenya baali mu kalulu Kikwete naagwa mu kalulu naagwa Tanzania nene nasituka mangu nayimirira ne bagamba kiki amwe kano in the Tanzanian army badde nina okusituka nyimirire waliwo wano twali kololo omusajja yali akoye komanda wa parade nga bwagira ne bamusindikira abantu nga bana bamugyewo egindi Southern Sudan olw'omusana bagwa ne baggwawo omusajja yalemerawo. How can you follow down in front of the commander in
chief?
Yalemerawo n'aguma. Era ffe mu Baganda batugamba ti akasajja kali Muteesa kamuvuma n'akabwayo mu kigwo n'akawa essajja eddene bweriti sajja ne likanyiga ko kye kakola tebayina ndaweya kati ko kye kakola nganga nekegaziya kati abantu ne balaba obwerere bwako lino essajja bali kabulunzi kabe tebekegaziya abantu baseka nirirakise kamukuba wansi nekadduka nekeyanza mu maaso ga kabaka nekavuga Ssaabasajja Kabaka omusajja mpe mudde nankola bwati naye bwente kulemerako nga waliwo omulabi ate emize jadda kkadu kinkubidde obulenzi buno byanembubetinta
nsaba kumbewomba ensonga ya soccer tudde ku points endala
role of luck in soccer and to many people luck is but just a myth. In our daily lives we talk about luck, omukisa. I normally hear people talk about omukisa. Some even consult which doctors for it. The Baganda have a saying that omukisa mpewo nebogala okuyingira, meaning luck is like air, it find its way even to close the door. The same Baganda say that omukisa gujja lumu, chance comes to once in one ozi. If you do not take advantage of it, you lose forever. Yes, the English saying luck is for the prepared. Interestingly, soccer rotates around omukisa. A Nigerian novel writer illustrated this by saying that one moves with his God in check, provided with luck. In case you don't move with your personal God, you lose also a misfortune. On the military side, Napoleon used to choose his commanders on the basis of their luck. Before he would entrust a general with an assignment, he would consider his previous performance, especially in deadly battles. Businessmen and politicians look for Mr. Luck. And an opponent can die at the peak of an election or can be disqualified for lack of academic papers. A constituency can be divided, giving each his own area. A lucky soccer team can take advantage of confusion in the opponent's luck. Rwanda can place it in a good group where there is no stiff competition. This is how teams like Kenya, Rwanda, Nigeria, Niger, and Angola, all of that Uganda beats in the FIFA and the CAF rankings are more regular in African finals.
Because of luck.
Luck. Bagenda mu bibinja. N'omukisa kugenderako.
Okay.
Ne kocha beera ne luck. Mugamba buli kibayita omukisa. Guli musajja musiraamu. Okimanyi nti waliwo omukinja ajasala ente erimu akawowo n'etaliimu.
Kituufu.
Tekiriyo.
Gye kiri.
Ne baga nti eyasaze omukono gwe temuliimu. Si biyinza ali. No.
Kiveeri.
Waliwo omuntu alina olusu ng'omutegeererawo. Wano gundi yayiseewo. Nga ne bwekuba perfume
kasigalawo nti gundi.
So ne luck bweri. Some of us we are born lucky.
Okay. Badesa bawombe soccer.
However, a good soccer coach does not have his team's chances on other teams. I normally hear football analysts saying, if such a team defeats the other, we shall go through. A good coach does not put his hopes on the misfortune of other teams. A good team should be in a position to face an opponent, more so a giant one in the competition. This is what Cape Verde, a country with a 500,000 population, did to Cameroon, an international soccer giant. Another important factor is to distinguish between a battle and war. Politicians must understand that pulling large crowds does not indicate victory. What if those large crowds comprise of voters from outside the constituency? What if they are underage and therefore not eligible for voting? What is important is how of those who are ready to go to the polling station and vote. Likewise, in business, having many customers does not indicate profit. They could demand quality facilities which they would not pay. They could be thieves waiting to take advantage of this large group in the shop. Ask any bar owner, the more patrons crowd it, the more it survives as a business is numbered. These large crowds chase away would be real customers who want a peaceful environment. Likewise, in soccer, some group support is just psychological. We have seen countries hosting the World Cup or any big soccer competition, but they failed to lift the trophy. We have seen hosts who do not advance to the second stage. Home ground support is comparable to cosmetics, which enhance first appearance of beautiful ladies, not every woman. A well-stocked school library does not reflect good grades unless the students read the books, and also these books should be relevant. In motoring, acquiring the most expensive car does not guarantee victory, just as being robust with the roots does not ensure it. Victory in motoring is a combination of many factors. A good car, good knowledge of the roots are all just add the advantages. In armed conflicts, one can lose the battle but win the war. Friendly matches, whether in war or soccer, help the manager to test his team. Remember, a military maneuver doesn't in many cases involve live ammunition. However, it helps to become used to war situations and conditions. The problem with friendly games is that there is no prize. The whole thing is artificial and psychological and gives little results. Who can risk his leg in a friendly game? Human nature is driven and motivated by the high prize. My assessment of the performance of the Uganda Cranes is summarized as follows. Any team can be defeated whether before a home crowd or away. African teams transfer their witchcraft to football instead of training. In many African countries, witch doctors masquerade as team officials and occupy big positions on the delegation. Why haven't any African team lifted the World Cup, even when it was staged in Africa? Football is a scientific game. It cannot be based on witchcraft. Number two, there is no need for a technical committee to look into the needs of Uganda Cranes. There is a need for a technical committee to look into the needs of Uganda Cranes. Number three, we should understand that other teams like ourselves are looking for the top prize. They have the same pressure like we do. Number nine, we must be mindful of betting companies. Those sole aim is maximizing profits. These are monsters who can take advantage of the poor media practitioners and our players who are sailing in the same boat, who are poor. Number five, having lost in other areas, the national political opposition wants to infiltrate football. This is why they want changes in the FIFA to install their own and use it against the government. If our opposition politicians are soccer fans, why couldn't they demand more funding for sports? They are parliamentarians, those who are MPs. No, sino balimu bajja kuwamba buwambi kuonoona ulindwa n'agenda kabushenga bateeka ono bwobuvuka ba red paper friends of the Quran nayo natya mulindwa mu katuliki nakati abakatuliki babiri kitaka namugatta nakalema kasi bya abaana bo wekwese kitaka yafalwa nakalema omusajja omukulu yali tayinza kukkiriza tinte za Museveni zafudde nga aziwadde eddagala kabushenga ojja kusasula nakalema ojja kusasula omuntu w'oku Lawrence Mulindwa bwamukuba ne katwala entwe yako ku kisaawe kya Mulindwa ako kaka birayo ennyondo waffe temuyinza kulinnyayo nyaba alwadde temumwadde yadde ekikumi nga ndaba omukyere gwa State House tubakuba ntubattirayo. Do you celebrate? Muzza kuseka. Have you ever given him? The only NRM person who visited my mother is Lumumba.
Okay.
Lumumba yekka.
Yalinyayo ko kumata.
Ngambalayo. Nemulinyayo waffe tubakuba ntubattira n'emmotoka ntuzookya. Alijja okuziika waffe ajja kugira mu private car.
So si bya government.
Sitoka kubona hiyo namba ya serikali.
Okay.
In many countries, anger is always meted out. Who is financing these breakaway factions? Bakola yo n'omupiira omulala. Ne bateekawo omupiira omulala okutta guno. Essentini wabula weche bakubye mutwe ne bakyasa. Nebiteekawo gondi endala. Nebiteekawo bikoya abazanyi. Bikola bitya masaza semanyi biki. Waliwo ebyateekawo ekikopo ekirala. Era bitekuleni. Biri essenti. Wabula wantu wali bafaanizi. Zambia bane babyasa emitwe bye bibbi. Bane bidduka. Nkugamba. Ho is financing these breakaway factions in the FUFA. The intelligence agencies should find it. Those who are agitating for changes in the FUFA are not new faces. We have stumbled on those same names in the political battles elsewhere. In many countries, anger is always meted out against the coach because he's the expert. Unless he tells us, this coach, after Chipolopolo, unless the coach tells us that he has been failed by FUFA, he takes responsibility because he was acquired for this expert knowledge. In every matches, every competition, the coaches go. Uganda step put. Step put. A coach must go. Taliye kama gogo.
Alinani.
FUFA is a body.
Who heads it?
That's why you make mistakes by reducing everything to Museveni. Even a king has a prime minister.
But ye mwenyini yabyekolera ngomu.
Atia mu designing. Why do I get a rubber stamp? This is what I'm telling you. Mingo design.
So abali mu FUFA ba designing.
If you are being used by rubber stamps, why am I there?
Basobola nga wali yakawo.
Nkugamba. Why is it that the opposition MPs, who are very known for their services, guns for hire, the numbers as we are frequenting the soccer matches, are the ones leading this crusade against the FUFA leadership? I smell a rat and a rotten one because I followed these MPs and know very well that they are always guns for hire. When you see them raising their voices over any matter, be very afraid and take a precaution. In conclusion, our soccer problem is not Lawrence Mulindwa, and his removal will not help Uganda Cranes. We shall end up turning FUFA into another political party under the armpit of the opposition. As the removal of Bonita help me, this is why this man bought that vehicle form.